Hey peeps, so I want to talk to you today about finding a just right book. Whenever your teacher wants you to find a just right book, that means that that book is exactly perfect for you. Not perfect for your friend or for your teacher or for your mom or for your dad or for your dog, but for you. So that means that it's challenging enough, it's not too easy, and it has to do with what you're interested in. I know that in my virtual class that we really like graphic novels. You might really like animal books, or you might really like fantasy books. You might really like sports books. I think, generally speaking, that your teacher would be happy for you to read it all, because reading is really important. As you become stronger as a reader, try to challenge yourself and do genres or read genres that you don't normally read. I want to tell you about two. What makes a book too easy? So a too easy book means that you've read the book a lot and you know the story by heart. For me, that book would be Holes. I've read that book as a read aloud with my class every year since I started teaching. So as a reader, that's good for you guys because most of you haven't read it, and if you have, you like reading it again. But for me, that wouldn't be a book that really is really challenging for me because it's below my level. I've read it many times. I know it by heart. Whenever I pick a book to read, it's going to be more on my level, not books that I've read many, many times. It doesn't take a lot of effort to understand a book that's too easy. You can fluently read all the words in the book, meaning that you don't stumble over any words at all. It's almost like you've memorized it. You can retell the story with ease, and there are no parts or words of the book that really make you think about stuff, and overall, you're not really learning anything new. Now, on the flip side of a book being too easy, it's terrible whenever a book is too challenging for you. Nothing is more frustrating than reading a book that you want to throw across the room. You might want to throw it across the room when there are more than 5 words on a page that you don't know how to read or you don't know what they mean. You're confused about what's happening and often reread the same page over and over again. And you can't read the words out loud fluently and the reading is choppy. And you need a lot of help to understand the words and understand the text overall. And you're not learning anything new if a book is too challenging for you. That's not good. So what your goal is as a 5th grade student this year is to find a just right book. So this is a book that you haven't read before and you're still excited to read it. You understand what is happening in the story mostly. You might have to ask a question here or there, but you mostly understand what's happening in the story. You know a lot of the words on the page, but you're learning new ones too, and you can learn them through context clues. So based on what the paragraph is saying, you can kind of infer what that word means. You can retell or give a summary of what you've read, and you can read the book by yourself, but you may need help at some points, but you can mainly read it by yourself. And overall, the book is helping you learn new things. Another thing that a good 5th grade student does is build their stamina whenever they're reading. And strategies to help you read longer would be read silently in your head, read with more expression and more feeling, look at the words and try not to point under the words or track your reading with your finger. Recognize where parts of the story speed up and slow down and adjust your reading accordingly. And reread parts of the story that you like or that are filled with emotion. So those are some things that can help you read for longer periods of time and overall make you a better reader. So this page is going to be in your class notebook and on Canvas, but just to recap, we are trying to find books that are just right for us, and once we find those books that are just right for us, then you can build your stamina and become a better reader.